Hey everyone, welcome back to Car Flash, the place where car reviews actually tell you the truth. No dealership rehearsals, no sugar-coated marketing, and definitely no boring spec sheet recitals. Here, it's all about real impressions, real performance, and what you're actually getting for your money. And today, buckle up, because we're diving into one of the most hardcore, most exhilarating, and most track-focused machines you can legally drive on the road. This is the 2026 Porsche 911 GT3 RS, a car that doesn't just push boundaries, it laughs at them. Exterior: from the moment you see it, you know this isn't your average 911. The GT3 RS is what happens when Porsche engineers decide to turn the dial past 10 and leave subtlety somewhere in the dust. Up front, it looks like it was born in a wind tunnel, because it basically was. The massive central radiator setup replaces the traditional dual-side radiators, clearing the way for fully functional aerodynamic channels that push air precisely where it needs to go. You've got an aggressive front splitter that looks ready to slice the air in half. And those huge hood vents aren't just for show, they channel hot air out while generating extra downforce on the front axle. Every single line, vent, and curve on this front end is there for a reason, and the attention to detail is absolutely obsessive. Even the Porsche badge up front is a lightweight decal instead of an actual emblem, just to save a few grams. That's the level of madness we're talking about. Move along to the side, and the GT3 RS looks every bit the track monster that it is. Those massive air intakes behind the doors feed the 4.0-liter flat six with all the oxygen it could ever need. The fenders are sculpted for both function and intimidation, with deep cutouts and vents that manage turbulent air around the front wheels. And then there's the ride height. The car sits so low it looks like it's vacuum sealed to the pavement. You get lightweight magnesium or optional carbon fiber wheels wrapped in sticky Michelin Pilot Cup 2R tires, which are basically racing slicks for the road. The carbon ceramic brakes hide behind them like heavy artillery, oversized, fade-resistant, and ready to bring this beast to a stop from any speed. And those aerodynamic fins on the front fenders, they're not for looks, they reduce pressure buildup in the wheel wells and keep the front end planted through corners. It's a rolling lesson in how aerodynamics can be art. Walk around to the rear, and things go from aggressive to outright insane. The centerpiece is that towering swan neck rear wing, bigger, smarter, and more functional than ever. It's fully active, meaning it adjusts in real time to optimize downforce or reduce drag depending on what you're doing. Porsche says this car generates over 900 kilograms of downforce at top speed. That's more than a full-grown cow sitting on your rear axle. Below the wing, you've got those massive exhaust outlets screaming pure mechanical violence every time you floor it, and a carbon fiber diffuser that looks straight out of Le Mans. The taillights are thin, sharp, and minimalist, because the rest of the car is already doing all the talking. Everything here screams one message loud and clear: this is a race car first, a road car second, and a status symbol somewhere far down the list. Interior: inside, Porsche hasn't tried to hide the GT3 RS's purpose. The cabin is stripped down, focused, and unapologetically driver-centric. Step inside, and the first thing you notice are the carbon fiber bucket seats, firm, tight, and designed to hold you like a vice through high-speed corners. They're not exactly comfortable in the traditional sense, but if you're buying a GT3 RS for comfort, you've missed the point. The steering wheel is pure motorsport Alcantara wrapped, perfectly sized, and with those bright yellow center markers reminding you where straight ahead is. You've got physical rotary dials on the wheel to adjust suspension, traction control, and differential settings, so you can literally tune the car mid-lap without taking your hands off the wheel. The digital cluster is minimal yet razor-focused, displaying only the essentials: revs, speed, gear, and track telemetry when you want it. Porsche even moved the door handles and most controls to lighter materials to shave off weight. You can still have an infotainment screen, but it's secondary to the driving experience. It's there for navigation and basic connectivity, not TikTok or Spotify playlists. The roll cage behind the seats, optional harnesses, and lightweight carpetless floor remind you again how this car means business. It's raw, mechanical, and unfiltered. Now, let's talk performance A, because this is where the GT3 RS really earns its name. Under the rear deck lid sits a 4.0-liter naturally aspirated flat-six engine, revving to an absolutely screaming 9,000 revolutions per minute. It produces around 525 horsepower, which might sound modest compared to some twin-turbo supercars out there, but it's the way this car delivers it that makes all the difference. The throttle response is instant, the sound is spine-tingling, and the way it climbs through the rev range feels alive, a mechanical perfection honed over decades of evolution. Power is sent to the rear wheels through a 7-speed PDK dual-clutch transmission that shifts so quickly, you almost question if it's reading your mind. 0 to 60 happens in just about 3.0 seconds flat, and it'll keep pulling to around 190 miles per hour. But again, the GT3 RS isn't built for straight-line glory, it's built to destroy corners. The suspension setup is entirely adjustable, both manually and electronically, with adaptive dampers and race-grade geometry. The steering is one of the most communicative systems ever fitted to a production car. You feel every millimeter of road texture, every ounce of grip, every bit of feedback. The active aerodynamics, including the wing and underbody flaps, constantly shift to balance the car mid-corner. It's like driving a fighter jet with wheels. On the track, it's so composed, so sharp, and so brutally efficient that it makes other sports cars feel like toys. Yet somehow, Porsche still managed to make it usable on public roads. Not comfortable, but livable. If your idea of livable is hearing every pebble hit the carbon fiber floor. Now, let's talk money. The 2026 Porsche 911 GT3 RS starts around $250,000, but that's just the beginning. Once you start ticking boxes for options like the Satch package, carbon wheels, ceramic brakes, or custom paint, you're easily looking north of $300,000. But here's the thing, people who buy this car aren't doing it for luxury or prestige. They're doing it for purity, for that connection between man, machine, and tarmac that very few cars on the planet can deliver. This isn't about owning a Porsche, it's about driving one on the edge of physics and feeling every heartbeat of the engineering that went into it. So, what's the verdict? The 2026 Porsche 911 GT3 RS isn't just another supercar. It's a statement, a declaration that even in an era of EVs, touchscreens, and self-driving nonsense, there's still room for something raw, analog, and mechanical. It's brutal, beautiful, and utterly uncompromising. Every drive feels like a track day, every corner feels like a challenge, and every rev makes you fall in love with driving all over again. Sure, it's expensive, impractical, and loud, but that's exactly why it's perfect. If you love cars that make you feel, that remind you why we became enthusiasts in the first place, then the GT3 RS is a rolling masterpiece. It's not just a car, it's an experience, a benchmark, and a reminder that Porsche still builds machines for the purists. Thanks for watching Car Flash, where the reviews are real, and the passion for driving never fades. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 2026 Porsche 911 GT3 RS, make sure to hit that like button, drop a comment about what car you want to see next, and don't forget to subscribe so you never miss the truth behind the next big release. Until next time, keep your eyes on the road, your hands on the wheel, and your heart on redline.